In a bustling village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a mysterious baker named Mira. Every morning, the sweet aroma of her freshly baked bread and pastries would drift through the narrow streets, drawing villagers from their homes like an enchanting melody. Her bakery was unlike any other. People traveled from neighboring villages just to taste her creations. Mira's pastries were extraordinary golden crusts that melted in your mouth, sweet fillings that seemed to dance on your tongue, and bread so soft it felt like eating clouds. But no one knew where she learned her craft or how her baked goods could taste so magical. Mira was a quiet woman who lived alone. She didn't participate in village gossip or attend festivals. Every morning before dawn, she would appear at her small bakery, her hands already covered in flour, and by the time the village awoke, the display cases would be filled with magnificent creations. No matter how many customers came, Mira always had enough to sell. These bakers, led by a woman named Bianca, began to whisper among themselves. "How can her bread rise so perfectly every time?" Bianca asked, her voice tight with jealousy. "And those pastries so intricate, yet she makes dozens each morning," another baker added. "It's not natural," Bianca insisted. "No one can bake like that without help. Perhaps she's using something in her ingredients," a third baker suggested, leaning in closer. "Something unnatural." Their suspicions grew with each passing day. They tried to replicate Mira's recipes, staying up late into the night mixing and kneading, but nothing they created could match the taste or texture of Mira's goods. Frustrated, they began spreading rumors throughout the village. "Be careful with Mira's bread," Bianca warned customers at the marketplace. "Who knows what she puts in it to make it taste that way?" Despite the whispers, most villagers ignored the gossip and continued to line up at Mira's bakery every morning. Her bread had become too important to their daily lives, and even the village chief sent servants to buy her pastries for special occasions. Bianca returned home one evening, her face twisted with frustration. The market had been terrible for her. She had sold only a handful of loaves while Mira's bakery was packed with customers all day. As she entered her kitchen to prepare dinner for her family, she called out to her husband, "Tomas, what would you like for dinner tonight?" To her surprise, Tomas waved dismissively. "I'm not hungry, Bianca. I stopped by Mira's bakery earlier and had some of her bread and cheese pastries. I'm still full." Bianca froze, her heart pounding. Her own husband had chosen Mira's baking over hers. First it had been her children, coming home from school comparing her bread unfavorably to Mira's, and now her husband. Was everyone in her household betraying her for that woman? Bianca couldn't sleep that night, tossing and turning as anger grew inside her. By morning, she had made up her mind something had to be done about Mira. The next day, Bianca arrived at the marketplace earlier than usual. She watched from behind her stall as Mira set up, moving with a graceful efficiency that only fueled Bianca's irritation. As the first customers began to line up, Bianca noticed her husband heading toward Mira's stall. Something inside her snapped. She marched over, pushing through the crowd. "Mira," Bianca shouted, causing the market to fall silent. Mira looked up from arranging her pastries. "Good morning, Bianca," she said calmly. "You need to stop selling to my family," Bianca demanded, her voice shaking with anger. "My husband and children should be eating my bread, not yours." Mira remained composed. "I don't force anyone to buy from me, Bianca. They make their own choices. You've turned my family against me." Bianca's voice rose. "They talk about your bread and pastries like they're enchanted." "I simply bake with care," Mira replied softly. "I can't stop people from coming to my stall if they enjoy what I make." The crowd watched in uncomfortable silence as Bianca's face reddened with fury. "You think you're better than the rest of us? You came from nowhere, and now you think you own this market?" "I never claimed to be better than anyone," Mira said. "I just do my work and people come." Unable to contain her frustration, Bianca stormed away, the whispers of the crowd following her. That night, after the market had closed and everyone had gone home, Bianca stayed behind. Hiding in the shadows near Mira's bakery, she watched and waited. As the moon rose high in the sky, she saw Mira leaving, carrying a basket covered with a cloth. Quietly, Bianca followed Mira through the winding streets of the village, staying at a distance to avoid detection. Mira walked calmly, unaware she was being watched. They left the village center and headed toward a small cottage nestled at the edge of the woods. Bianca's heart raced with anticipation. Finally, she would discover Mira's secret. She crept closer as Mira entered the cottage. Through a small window, Bianca could see Mira lighting candles and placing her basket on a wooden table. To Bianca's surprise, Mira knelt down and pulled a hidden door in the floor. From beneath it, she withdrew several small pouches. Bianca leaned closer, straining to see what was inside. Mira opened one pouch and sprinkled something into a bowl. She whispered words Bianca couldn't hear, then added flour and water. As she mixed, the room seemed to fill with a soft, golden light. Bianca gasped, stepping back and accidentally snapping a twig beneath her foot. The sound echoed in the quiet night. Mira's head snapped up, her eyes scanning the darkness outside. "Who's there?" she called out, her voice firm. Panicking, Bianca tried to run, but it was too late. Mira rushed outside and caught sight of her retreating form. "Bianca," Mira called, her voice surprisingly gentle. "Please, come back." But Bianca ran, her heart pounding with fear and confusion. What had she just witnessed? The strange light, the pouches hidden beneath the floor. It confirmed everything she had suspected. Mira was using magic or some kind of potion in her baking. The next morning, Bianca went directly to the village elder, an old man named Gregor who was respected by all. "Elder Gregor," she said breathlessly, "I've discovered something terrible about Mira the baker." Gregor listened patiently as Bianca recounted what she had seen. When she finished, he stroked his beard thoughtfully. "These are serious accusations, Bianca. Do you have any proof beyond what you saw?" "I saw it with my own eyes," Bianca insisted. "She has pouches hidden beneath her floor. She whispers strange words as she mixes her dough. There was an unnatural light in her cottage." "Before we condemn someone, we need more than suspicions," Gregor said. "I have eaten Mira's bread many times and have never felt anything strange. Perhaps there is an explanation for what you saw." Frustrated by Gregor's response, Bianca decided to take matters into her own hands. She gathered a few fellow bakers and shared her story. Some were skeptical, but others, already envious of Mira's success, were quick to believe. "We should confront her," one suggested. "No," Bianca replied, a plan forming in her mind. "I have a better idea." That evening, Bianca returned to Mira's cottage alone. She waited until she saw Mira leave to get water from the nearby well. As soon as Mira was out of sight, Bianca slipped inside the cottage and began searching for the hidden door in the floor. It didn't take long to find. Lifting it carefully, she discovered the mysterious pouches. Her hands trembled as she opened one and found what looked like ordinary herbs: rosemary, thyme, and others she didn't recognize. Another pouch contained what appeared to be a type of fine golden powder. As she examined the contents, the door to the cottage suddenly opened. Mira stood there, a water bucket in her hands, her eyes wide with surprise. "Bianca," she said softly, "what are you doing?" Caught red-handed, Bianca held up one of the pouches accusingly. "I knew it. You've been using magic or potions or something unnatural. This is how you've been stealing customers from the rest of us." Mira set down her bucket and sighed. "It's not what you think," she said. "Those are simply herbs and spices. And this?" Bianca demanded, holding up the pouch with golden powder. "What kind of spell is this?" To her surprise, Mira laughed a gentle, melodic sound. "That's saffron, Bianca. The most expensive spice in the world. It's what gives my pastries their special flavor and color." "But, the light I saw? The words you were whispering?" Bianca stammered, confused. "I sing to my dough," Mira admitted, a slight blush coloring her cheeks. "My grandmother taught me that bread responds to love and care. The light you saw was just my candles reflecting off the copper bowls." Bianca stood there, the pouches still in her hands, feeling foolish. "But how do you make so much bread each day? It's impossible for one person." Mira smiled and gestured for Bianca to follow her. She led her to a small room behind the main area of the cottage. Inside were two young children, a boy and a girl, both kneading dough at a small table. "My nephew and niece," Mira explained. "Their parents died last winter. I took them in and taught them to bake. We work together before dawn each day." Bianca's heart sank as she realized her mistake. There was no magic, no secret potion, just hard work, exotic spices, and the help of two orphan children. I don't understand," Bianca said, her voice small. "Why keep all this a secret?" Mira's expression softened. "The children are still grieving. I wanted to give them time to heal before introducing them to village life. And the spices, they're rare and expensive. I feared if everyone knew my secret, the magic would be lost." "Magic?" Bianca repeated. Not real magic, Mira clarified. The magic of surprise and delight when someone tastes something truly special. That's the only magic in my baking. Shame washed over Bianca. All this time, she had been consumed by jealousy when she could have been learning, improving, creating something unique herself. I'm sorry, she whispered, tears filling her eyes. I've been spreading rumors about you, thinking terrible things. Mira placed a gentle hand on Bianca's shoulder. We all have our own paths to follow, Bianca. Perhaps instead of seeing each other as rivals, we could be friends. I could teach you about my spices, and perhaps you could teach me something too. The next morning, villagers were surprised to see Bianca and Mira standing together at the market, their stalls side by side. Between them was a new sign: the village bakery, traditional and exotic breads daily. Word spread quickly about Mira's orphan niece and nephew, and the village embraced them with open arms. Bianca learned to work with Mira's exotic spices, creating her own unique recipes that soon became just as popular. As for the rumors and jealousy that had once divided them, they faded away like morning mist in the sunshine. The village discovered that there was room enough for both traditional and exotic breads, and that sometimes the most magical ingredient of all was simply understanding. Dear viewers, what lessons did you take from this tale of jealousy and redemption? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, please give us a thumbs up, share it with friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more uplifting folktales. Turn on notifications so you never miss our latest uploads. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.